I spend a lot of my time looking at data, like charts and graphs about inflation, jobs, economic growth, all of it. And as a reporter or a person who looks at data, it's really easy to get caught up in these stories, the stories of the moment, how much inflation went up, how many jobs were added this month or even this week. Looking at all this news all the time, it's really easy to feel burned out or sort of depressed or hopeless or like everything is terrible. But really, if you back up a little bit, a lot of what has happened in the world in the last 20, 30, 40, 50 years is pretty amazing. And for this last day of chart week, I wanted to back up a little bit and look at some longer term economic trends. But of course, for this, we're going to need a bigger chart. For all bigger chart needs, there is a great organization called Our World in Data. They do really extraordinary work. They're out of the UK and they aggregate data from all over the world from across centuries, actually. And for this story for The Indicator years ago with the great Cardiff Garcia, we talked with the researchers there about why they do what they do, why they look across these decades and centuries of data, why this was important. And this idea came up of a 50-year newspaper. I love this idea. The idea is, bad news happens fast, abruptly, but progress often happens quietly and slowly over time. And the idea of the 50-year newspaper is if instead of getting the newspaper every day, or now I guess it's like every second, you got the newspaper every 50 years, your perception of the world would be really different. Take a look at this chart. This is life expectancy from 1770. This is just an amazing chart to see how much longer our lives are. So we have so many more decades to explore the world and try things and do things. It's pretty extraordinary. Now, the second chart is people living in extreme poverty. Now, extreme poverty is defined by people living on less than $3 a day. And of course, when people are living in extreme poverty like this, the idea of human rights, of life expectancy, of having enough food to eat, of shelter, this all becomes just a day to day struggle to survive. And if you look at the progress that's made just since 1985, this is just an incredibly inspiring statistic. And for the final chart, this is a big one. It goes back to the 1700s again, child mortality. This chart is amazing. Look at how much child mortality has fallen over the centuries. It used to be that nearly half of babies would die or even more. And now most babies live. So if we were to get a newspaper every 50 years, I think a lot of the headlines would be incredibly positive. And so I thought to close out the year, it would be nice to end on a happy note, the happy note of the 50-year newspaper.